Welcome to yet another awesome session of Mindful Living. We truly appreciate your taking out the time and joining this session in the evening of a weekday. I promise you that this investment of 60 to 90 minutes is definitely going to be worth your while. The month of December is a very special month. I would urge you to type in the chat what makes the month of December special for you. There are no right or wrong answers. Please take a minute to respond. What makes December special for you? Thank you, Shruti. Yeah, it gets cold. Not so cold in Pune, but yeah, in north, it's very, very cold. What else? Anybody else? Is December a special month for you? Please, holidays and family time. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Manoj. Winter, Christmas, New Year's, children are happy. So yeah, joy of Christ's birth. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you. So thank you, friends, for your enthusiastic responses. The month is special. We bring down, this is the daughter's birthday. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Anshu, for sharing. Yes, this is the last month of the current year, and we are looking forward to celebrating Christmas, New Year, birthdays, and then also planning for 2024. There is one more reason that makes December very special, and that is celebration of the International Gita Mahotsav Festival. At Mindful Living, we have been celebrating Gita Mahotsav for last 3 years, and this is our third consecutive year in which we are having our special speaker for today, Prasunji, and his co-founder Sandhya Kundu as our speakers. I'll talk more about them. My journey with Bhagavad Gita started when my grandmother would have me in her lap and would chant Bhagavad Gita shloks. And later, as I grew up as a kid, I remember chanting the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, though I didn't understand them. A couple of years later, when I had gone for a jazz music session, I happened to pick this book up from a bookstore which was nearby. And this is what really got me deep into Bhagavad Gita. This is a fascinating book by Paramahans Yoganand, a great commentary. And, my journey with Bhagavad Gita started there. And today I'm very privileged to have Sandhya, who's a corporate professional and an entrepreneur. She has had a very successful stint in the corporate sector for about 14 years and has been is now a co-founder of Honesty Solutions and a specialist in digital marketing and an expert in Gita chanting. She will be conducting this session along with Prasun Kundu, who is a corporate professional having worked with organizations like Nestle, Reliance, Idea Cellular, and McCormick. He founded Honesty Solutions in July 18 along with Sandhya and has been successfully running training programs for leading institutions like Ahmedabad Management Association, Adani Group, and many other leading corporates, and also is a consultant to many Indian and multinational organizations. Together, Sandhya and Prasoon have a mission of Har Ghar Gita, and they are very passionate about about their mission. And we are so very privileged to have Prasoon and Sandhya with us today. Thank you, Prasoon. Thank you, Sandhya, for joining us.
Thank you, Ashish ji. Namaskar.
Namaste, namaste. Friends, some of you may be joining the Mindful Living session for the first time, so I'll take a minute to introduce myself before I hand over the session to Sandhya and Prasoon. My name is Ashish Kumar, and I started Mindful Living community when the first lockdown happened in April 2020. A few of my friends reached out to me and requested me to conduct a mindfulness session for them to help them deal with the stress and anxiety that the lockdown was causing. I'm a certified mindfulness teacher, So I happily conducted a session for them. One thing led to the other, and that small group of friends has now grown to be a vibrant community of over 3,000 people who regularly, actively connect to share about living consciously, about living mindfully. We don't advertise about this community anywhere. So the only way you can join this community is by when someone invites you to join it. And today, with open heart and open arms, I invite you to join the Mindful Living community. It's a no nonsense community where there are no good morning, good night messages, no political or religious posts, only people practicing to live consciously and sharing about their journey with others and in a non judgmental fashion. So I invite you to join the community and benefit from the awesome sessions that we hold every weekend and sometimes on the weekday also. To make the maximum of this session, I would urge you to keep your camera on and also use the reactions button to show appreciation of what Prasunji and Sandhya are sharing, give them some love, or type your questions in the chat. We'll be opening up the session for Q&A towards the end of the session, but you remain actively engaged during the session. While you registered, we have received your question and answers and questions and comments also. We'll be taking them up during the end of the session. So on that note, I'll now invite Prasunji to take the session forward. But before that, I will like you to take a moment and measure your energy levels, how energetic you are feeling. You don't have to share it with us. Just make a note somewhere of how energetic is. So if you are full on energetic, type 10. If you're feeling very low on energy, maybe you type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So no judgment. You don't have to tell this number to anybody, but just make a note of the number. What do you think is your energy level right now? And make a note of mental note or note on paper somewhere. And on that note, I'll now invite Prasunji and Sandhya to take the session forward.
धन्यवाद आशीष जी. नमस्कार टू एवरीवन. हरिओम. सेशन आरंभ करने से पहले हम लोग प्रार्थना करते हैं. कोई भी अच्छा काम करने से पहले प्रार्थना करते हैं. तो हम प्रार्थना करेंगे. अगर आपको आता हो आप साथ में करिएगा. उसके पहले हम 3 बार ओम चैंट करेंगे. ओम तो शायद सब हमारे साथ मिलके चैंट कर सकते हैं. तो आप अनम्यूट करके साथ में ओम चैंट करते हैं, फिर प्रार्थना. ओम
Very exciting again. The last thing
ओम ओम सहना
भवतु
सहनौ
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह
सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
मा
मा
विद्विषावहै.
विद्विषावहै.
ओम
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
समस्त जन कल्याणे
समस्त जनकल्याणे
निरतं करुणा
करुणामय
नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्. ॐ पार्थाय
पार्थाय
प्रतिबोधितां
प्रतिबोधितां
भगवता
भगवता
नारायणेन
नारायणेन
स्वयं
स्वयं
व्यासेन
व्यासेन
ग्रथितां
ग्रथितां
पुराणमुनिना
पुराणमुनिना
मध्ये
मध्ये
महाभारतम्
महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम्
अष्टादशाध्यायिनी
अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब
अम्ब
त्वामनुसन्धामि
त्वामनुसन्दधामि
भगवद्गीते
भगवद्गीते
भवद्वेषिणि।
भवद्वेषिणी
Hari Om. Please allow me to share my screen. First and foremost, थैंक यू सो मच। आप सबका अशेष धन्यवाद। एक वर्किंग डे में, मिड वीक में इस समय पे जुड़ना अपने आप में ये दर्शाता है कि हाउ वी आर wanting to learn Bhagavad Gita chanting. And let me tell you that this does not happen by chance. ये सृष्टि और परमात्मा की अनुमति के बिना ये होता नहीं है। ऐसा हमारा एक्सपीरियंस रहा है और ऐसा ही अब तक हमने देखा है। अगर आप इस सेशन के बाद रिफ्लेक्ट करेंगे तो आपको लगेगा। चलिए शुरू करते हैं। एक आइस ब्रेकर कर लेते हैं। मैं कुछ प्रश्न पूछूंगा, उसके उत्तर आप चैट बॉक्स में दे सकते हैं। यू कैन आंसर इन द चैट बॉक्स। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ भगवद गीता? You can type in the chat. Song of God, spiritual awakening. Okay, anyone else? The celestial song. Wow. Anyone else? That makes me remember something. We'll come to that. Ultimate truth. Okay. Great. Okay, so भगवद गीता का मतलब है, भगवद ये दो शब्दों से बना। भगवद यानी भगवान और गीत इज द सॉन्ग। तो भगवान के द्वारा गाया हुआ गीत इज भगवद गीता। द सेलेस्टियल सॉन्ग किसी ने लिखा तो मुझे उससे याद आया, जब महात्मा गांधी जब पहली बार भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे थे, तो वो जो भगवद गीता पढ़ रहे थे वो अंग्रेजी में पढ़ रहे थे। ही वाज रीडिंग इट इन इंग्लिश and the book was named the song Celestial, which was authored by Erwin Arnold. So the song Celestial was the book. तो भगवद गीता का मतलब होता है भगवान के मुख से निकली हुई वाणी और गीत। And that is why chanting becomes so very blissful, so very blissful. So how many of you have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita at home? You can type in the chat. I do. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, great, great. Wow, almost everyone has. Okay, so how many of you have read it? कितने लोगों ने भगवद गीता पढ़ी है? Full time period. I have. Great. Started reading recently. Great. Manoj ji and everyone, thanks for. Did not understand. Made an attempt. Wow, that's a very honest confession, I must say. only a few pages. थोड़ी. Thanks, Anshu, Minesh. Okay, great. How many of you can read it fluently? जिन्होंने पढ़ा उसमें से how many of you can read it fluently? So for example, धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेता युयुत्सवः मामकाः पांडवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय. ऐसे how many of you can read it? Okay, yes, I can chant. Great. Somewhat in English only. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, Jyotsna, I know you can chant. So you have been best. Yes, I can chant. Titisami. No, that's why left. Oh. Great. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Is reading in the original Sanskrit text important? What do you think? Or would you like to read the Bhagavad Gita in the original Sanskrit text? Let me rephrase my question. Yes, very important. Yes, it is important. Very important. Very important. Yes. Important. Good. So all of us believe that it is important. Great. Great. Who should read the Bhagavad Gita? What do you think? Bhagavad Gita should be read by whom? Important. Wow. Thanks, Manish. Everyone. All. Any age group? All. Wow. Great. Everyone. No age limit. Everyone. All age. Earlier the better. Okay. So that makes me to ask a question which is out of the syllabus. But if all of us agree that we have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita at home and we have made an attempt to read it, some of us can read it fluently, some of us are making an attempt, and we agree that most of the people should read the Bhagavad Gita, then why should one read the Bhagavad Gita? We all agree that most of us, any age group, most of people should read the Bhagavad Gita. Then why one should read the Bhagavad Gita? One who has fullest faith, self-realization, to know ourselves, to the fullest. Wow. Wow. Great. Great. So let me share with some figures with you. So we did an survey with close to 1,000 people, and most of the people have, in fact, the survey says that almost more than 80% of the Indian households have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita at home. And almost everyone has made an attempt to at least read it. More than 60% have made an attempt to read it. But somehow they have left midway, or they have started at some, as someone also said in this group, that I started, but then I didn't understand and I left it. And all of us know that reading the Bhagavad Gita, or all of us accept, most of us accept here, that reading the Bhagavad Gita is important, and any age group we should read. And because we know that it connects us with the superior, all that is at a very divine level, at a very spiritual level. But Bhagavad Gita is the instruction manual for life. It's the instruction manual for life. And like we have instruction manuals for any gadget that we buy or that we have at a place, अगर उस गैजेट में कुछ गड़बड़ होता है, then we always take take help of the instruction manual to see that whether we can repair it or fix it ourselves or we need help. इवन जब हम कोई गाड़ी खरीदते हैं उसके साथ एक मैनुअल आता है, कोई ओटीजी खरीदते हैं उसके साथ मैनुअल आता है, अगर हम कोई टूथ ब्रश भी खरीदते हैं ना तो उसमें भी लिखा होता है कि इसको पीछे से यहाँ खोलना है, कवर में वो परफोरेटेड लाइंस होती है. सो वी आर लेड बाय इंस्ट्रक्शंस इन अ लाइफ व्हेन इट कम्स टू यूजिंग थिंग्स, बट देयर इज ए इंस्ट्रक्शन मैनुअल फॉर लाइफ. And why we do it? We do it because so that it gets installed properly, the gadget or the thing that we are using. क्योंकि अच्छी तरह से इंस्टॉल हो गया तो मैं उसको अच्छी तरह से यूज कर पाऊंगा. I will be able to use it to the full potential. Is why I install a gadget or a thing. However, there is an instruction manual for life, which is available in almost all the households, but seldom have people read it or understood it and installed themselves properly. I'm just leaving it at that. So it's a food for thought. Are we installed properly for the life? Because second chapter में भगवान 14th श्लोक में बोलते हैं कि मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमा पायिनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत. He says that Arjun, whenever our sense organs come in contact with the sense objects, we will always have a feeling of duality because this world is of opposites. So either it is hot or cold, sheet or ushna, sukh or dukh. Either we feel sorrow or we feel happy about when we come in contact with something. But he says, there is a disclaimer, agama paino nitya, all these are anitya, these are not going to stay. So the situation that I am in today is bound to change tomorrow. आगमा पाइनो नित्या ताम स्थितिक शास्व भारत. He says, इसीलिए तू उसको सहन करना सीख अर्जुन. तो जो भी सिचुएशन में हम आएंगे वो सिचुएशन सबसे बड़ी बात है, he is not going to stay. So even if we are in the pink of our health and in the best of situations currently, we should always have in mind that the situation is going to change, and it is not the situation that is responsible for our state of mind or our misery or our happiness. It is just how we react to the given situation. So how do I react to the situation will always define my state of mind. And that is what Bhagavan says, and that is what Bhagavan elaborates in the whole of the Bhagavad Gita. Because Arjun शुरू में क्या बोलते हैं, जब उनके सामने सारे भीष्म पितामह आचार्य द्रोण कृपाचार्य और उनके सगे संबंधी खड़े होते हैं तो बोलते हैं मेरा मुंह सूखा चला जा रहा है, मेरे अंग अंग शिथिल हुए जा रहे हैं, मेरे रोम रोम कांप रहे हैं, मेरे रोम हर्षित हुए चले जा रहे हैं, मेरा गांडी मेरे हाथ से गिरा चला जा रहा है और मैं कुछ सोच नहीं पा रहा. न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं, मैं खड़ा नहीं हो पा रहा हूं, और भ्रमतीव च मे मनः, मेरा मन भ्रमित हुआ चला जा रहा है भगवान. और ये हमसे तो ना हो पाएगा, बिकॉज इनको अगर मैं मारा, अगर मैं ये युद्ध जीता तो भी हारा तो हारा ही, तो मैं युद्ध में क्यों करूं, is what he says. And that is then Bhagwan takes him through the Bhagavad Gita. So that is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. However, chanting of the Bhagavad Gita is why it is important, or reading the Bhagavad Gita in the original Sanskrit text, why it is important. Because most of us here are bilingual. How many of us can speak more than 2 languages? More than 1 language? How many of us? Most of us? Wow. 5 languages, great. I can 3, great. So if we are conversing in one language, and there are certain essence that a language has in the original form. Okay. If I want to or try to translate them, it loses the meaning or it loses the fun of the language or the essence of the language. Okay. And especially when we're trying to try cracking a joke which you know in one language in some other language with people. So maybe at times people, instead of laughing, may start crying because it loses the essence. अब there was this wicket keeper, Indian wicket keeper, उसका नाम था किरण मोरे. ही वाज अ महाराष्ट्रियन, आई सपोज. विकेट के पीछे खड़ा होता था, तब आवाज भी आती थी काफी. तो कभी भी कुछ आता, ही यूज्ड टू से आई ग. ओके, नाउ try converting I ga into English. Okay, I ga, I think is a slang used in Marathi language or is an expression in Marathi language. So it does not happen. So hence, reading in the original Sanskrit text becomes so very important. One, because of this. Second, the shloks will decipher something for myself. So all of us in this world are Arjun. And Bhagwan Shri Krishna will have different messages for different people on this planet. Because हम सबके क्वेश्चन पेपर सेम नहीं है, हम सबकी स्थिति सेम नहीं है, हम सबकी मनस्थिति सेम नहीं है, हम सबकी परिस्थिति सेम नहीं है, बट भगवान तो एक ही है. तो भगवान जब संदेश मुझे दे रहे हैं तो मुझसे कुछ और कहेंगे, राकेश जी आपसे कुछ और कहेंगे, श्रुति आपसे कुछ और कहेंगे, आशीष जी से कुछ और कहेंगे, कपिश से कुछ और कहेंगे, ज्योत्सना पे उसका मीनिंग कुछ और होगा. So it is so important to read it in the original Sanskrit text and communicate with the Almighty. And believe you me, it gives us answers to all the situation, any situation that we are in. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi said, and he has gone on record in his autobiography, and he said that when he was in London during his barrister days, when he was practicing law, he's from Porbandar and a pure Gujarati vegetarian family. So he was looking for vegetarian food in London, and it was very hard to find in those days. So he came across a theosophical society where he could manage थोड़ा vegetarian food उसको मिल जाता था. तो वहां पे दो बंदे थे जिनका नाम था ऑलकुट ब्रदर्स, जो कि जर्मनी से थे. महात्मा गांधी उस टाइम पे भगवत गीता पढ़ रहे थे, द सॉन्ग सेलेस्टियल, जो कि एरविन आर्नोल्ड ने लिखी थी अंग्रेजी में. सो ही वाज रीडिंग द सॉन्ग सेलेस्टियल, एंड जो ऑलकुट ब्रदर्स जो संस्कृत में पढ़ रहे थे, उनको एक श्लोक में कहीं कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. तो उन्होंने कहा कि महात्मा गांधी इज फ्रॉम इंडिया, ही मस्ट बी नोइंग संस्कृत, द नेटिव लैंग्वेज ऑफ दैट country. So they went to Mahatma Gandhi seeking clarification of their doubt, and Mahatma Gandhi said, he has gone on record, that was the most shameful day of my life. I, being an Indian, was reading the Bhagavad Gita in English, and these two gentlemen from Germany were reading it in the original Sanskrit text. And that is when I took upon myself that I'll read the Bhagavad Gita in the original text, Sanskrit, and understand it. And in the challenging situations during the independence war or the movement, he said that in any challenging situation, I used to open the Bhagavad Gita at random. Any shlok that comes that I used to open used to give me the solution to that particular situation. ऐसा वो उन्होंने बोला. So that is the importance of the Bhagavad Gita, and why we should read. We should in fact read the Bhagavad Gita. Everyone should read, and we should read ourselves so that children must read. If we have to change the fabric of the society, Bhagavad Gita has to be read by the kids. And for that, we must know it. And that is why, because of that reason, Bhagavad Gita chanting has now been introduced under the National Education Policy NEP 2020. So that becomes so very important. तो अगर हम सीखेंगे तो हम घर पे सिखाएंगे, बच्चों को सिखाएंगे, बच्चे सीखेंगे तो they will have much more better values when they grow up, especially in this digital age where kids are addicted to some one gadget or the other. Okay, so let's move on. Benefits of the Bhagavad Gita chanting. I'll just mantras and shlok have unique power through its correct pronunciation. ओके, सो मंत्र जो है, ये वर्ड जो है दो शब्दों से मिला हुआ, मन और त्र. मन इज माइंड, त्र इज टू प्रोटेक्ट. सो व्हेन वी chant the shlokas and the mantra, it protects my mind and my intellect. So that is the importance. It energizes the brain, it lowers blood pressure, it normalizes the heart rate, manages stress, anger, fear. So there are so many things that happens only by chanting. I'm not talking about the text or the meaning of the text. What we're discussing today is only the power of the Bhagavad Gita chanting. So it manages stress, anger, fear, keeps the mind alert, helps in healing. And this healing is not only external healing, it is my internal healing also. The times when I'm feeling hurt, I am not able to cope up with the situation, it helps in healing in that clear pronunciation. So when we chant, when we learn to chant, or when we chant ourselves, our pronunciation becomes very, very clear. Feeling of wellness. So feeling of wellness, because when we chant, हमको ऐसा लगता है that we are connecting to the divine, and that gives a feeling which is unimaginable. It's a feeling that we have to feel for ourselves. It's a feeling that cannot be described. Creates positive vibrations and removes negative energy, so that we will actually experience this in the latter half of today's session. So it actually removes the negative energy and it will fill us with positive vibrations, improves concentration and focus. So it is research says, there has been a lot of research on that. It says that people who chant the shloks and the mantras, their focus and concentration is considerably higher than people who don't. So there is a scientific discovery to that. So chanting and science. So let's see what science says about chanting. So it creates positive sound. Chanting creates positive sound, and there is a scientific evidence on the effect of positive and negative sound on the structure of water molecules, plants, crops, human brains, and animals. In fact, in China, they had done an experiment. So they had two plants, and one plant was exposed to chanting, another plant was not. The plant which was exposed to chanting turned out to be much more healthier, and it gave a yield of more than 15% than the plant which was not. This is plant. Okay. And because it has a definite impact on the water molecules, the sound has a definite effect on water molecules in whatever is living on this earth. And remember, our body comprises 70% water. So if we are 70% water, and if chanting creates effect on water, positive effect on water, then remember, and then you can understand, or you can imagine what it is to chant and how it will feel. Studies in humans have shown a decrease in blood pressure, increase alpha wave production, and improved sleep and better health. Because stress-free mind can keep the body healthy. Sleep or the deficit of it or the absence of it, it depends on what is my state of mind, how relaxed I am. People go for massage. Why? Because जब वो massage करता है, I become relaxed and I fall asleep. So it is a function of how my brain is, how much stressed out I am. MRI scans of human brains in groups who grew up chanting from a young age showed that the gray matter is significantly higher and the cortex was thicker. The hippocampus region were much more pronounced, which means that their short-term memory, their long-term memory, their decision-making ability, and their emotional intelligence all were much higher. This is what the research says. Were all much higher. Even if you listen to the chants without understanding the meaning, it still has an impact on the system. It still has an impact on the system. In fact, in the 18th chapter, shlok number 72, Bhagavan says, Shraddha vanana shuyascha shrunuyadapi yonaraha sopi muktasya bhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. He says that anyone, Arjun, anyone who listens to this samvad, Bhagavad Gita of you and me with devotion, श्रद्धा, श्रद्धा से जो भी सुनेगा ये संवाद तेरे मेरे बीच का, अर्जुन, श्रद्धावान न सूयश्च शृणु यादपि यो न रहा, जो भी इसको सुनेगा केवल, सोपि मुक्त शुभान लोकान, see, he will be free of all sins. Prapnuyat punya karmana, so he will gain the same punya that anyone else gets just by listening to it. And that is why if you look at most of the Indian households, when we wake up in the morning, हम कुछ ना कुछ भगवान का भजन या कीर्तन या ओम का सॉन्ग या फिर गायत्री मंत्र या फिर हनुमान चालीसा या भगवत गीता चैंटिंग, जैसे हमारे घर पे भगवत गीता चैंटिंग चलता है, वो हम चलाते हैं. क्यों? बिकॉज इट fills us with so much of positive energy just by listening to that. It was found that the temperature of the energy centers called the chakras, there are 7 chakras in our body, increased. And there is a direct relationship between how energy was transferred through chants into the body. This is all study related, all data which is available, research data. When we are not feeling good, just chanting for a few minutes will lift our life force or the prana shakti. And when the prana shakti is high, then what happens? We feel energized, happy, positive, and full of life. We take everything as a challenge and not as a problem. And we feel generous. We feel like helping others, being kind and loving. In other words, we are empathetic. We become empathetic. Because when you connect with the divine, अगर आप देखेंगे, अगर आप मंदिर में कभी जाते हैं और बाहर अगर कोई बैठा कुछ मांग रहा है आपसे, तो आप उसे खाली नहीं जाने देते. Why? Because you're trying to connect with something which is much more, which is divine. And at that time you feel generous and you want to do those generous acts. So these are only chanting, the benefits of chanting. But there is one more. And if we chant with the awareness of the body, the mind, and with reverence, the effect multiplies. Whatever we have said, the effect multiplies. And this is not something that I am saying. There are a lot of research that I've done, but one of the source that I'm sharing with you is this. And hence, what we advise people is keep chanting. Even if you don't understand, learn chanting and keep chanting. On that note, what we'll do is, so how many of you want to chant with us today? How many of you? Let's experience. So how positive energy fills up. You can type in the chat box. Are we ready to chant? Yes, okay. Okay, great. Okay. So let's move on. So I have taken 2 shlok to make you understand how the construct of the Bhagavad Gita shlok are. So Bhagavad Gita is written in Anushtup Chand. Okay. And in Anushtup Chand, ये जो ऊपर वाली लाइन है जिसपे मेरा कर्सर है, it is said as the first meter, and the नीचे वाली line is said as the second meter. And both the meters are of, ये जो अनुष्टुप छंद में, both the meters are comprise 16 letters, 16 letters होते हैं. और जैसे मैं जैसे चैंट करूंगा, मैं आपको चैंट करके बताता हूँ. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्म क्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पांडवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय. तो जहां जहां पे मैं गैप दे रहा हूं, धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र है, ये दिस इज द फर्स्ट चरण. फिर समवेतायुयुत्सवः सेकंड चरण, मामकाः पांडवाश्चैव थर्ड चरण, किमकुर्वत संजय. तो मैंने आपको बताया था कि पहली लाइन में 16 अक्षर होते हैं जिसमें हम जोड़ाक्षर नहीं गिनते हैं. तो जो 4 चरण है, हर चरण में 8 अक्षर होते हैं. देयर आर 8 अल्फाबेट्स इन एवरी चरण. तो ये जैसे धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र है, एक बार गिन लेते. ध 1 हो गया, क्ष 3 हो गया, त्र हो गया 4, क हो गया 6, र हो गया 5 हो गया क, र हो गया 6, क्ष हो गया 7, त्र हो गया 8। ओके, तो यहाँ पे ये चरण छूट जाएगा। धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र, ये ऐसे करके होगा। और दूसरा दो दो ट्यून में गाई जाती है भगवत गीता। दूसरा होता है त्रिष्टुप छंद। इसके बाद वाला त्रिष्टुप है, उसमें आएंगे तो हम आपको बताते हैं। लेकिन उसके पहले हम लोग सब मिलके चैंट करते हैं। आप लोग अनम्यूट कर दीजिए, हम लोग मिलके चैंट करेंगे। मैं करूंगा, मेरे बाद आप चैंट करिएगा। ब्लिस ऑफ द भगवत गीता एंड फील इट फॉर योरसेल्फ, फील इट फॉर योरसेल्फ। पहले मैं बोलता हूँ, फिर आप बोलो। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच
धृतराष्ट्रोवाच
धृतराष्ट्रोवाच
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे
धर्मक्षेत्रे
कुरुक्षेत्रे
समवेतायुयुत्सवः
समवेतायुत्सवः
युयुत्सवः
मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव
पाण्डवाश्चैव
किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। तो इट सेज धृतराष्ट्र उवाच है ना, धृतराष्ट्र कह रहे हैं कि धर्म क्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र। अभी देखिए धर्म, ही सेइंग कुरुक्षेत्र को धर्म क्षेत्र बोल रहे हैं। सो धर्म, अगर इसका भी जैसे कोई वर्ड है ना अंग्रेजी में नहीं है, तो इन एब्सेंस ऑफ दिस वर्ड वी यूज रिलीजन। बट धर्म जो हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा गया है, धर्म का मतलब है ऑब्लिगेटरी ड्यूटीज। दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ धर्म। तो ही सेज दैट कुरुक्षेत्र में के धर्म के मैदान में, कुरुक्षेत्र में युयुत्सुवः समवेता, युद्ध के अभिलाषी, समवेता युद्ध के अभिलाषी जो एकत्रित मामका मेरे और पांडु के पुत्रों ने क्या किया, संजय तुम मुझे बताओ। किमा कुर्वता संजय, क्या किया संजय मुझे बताओ। सो दैट इज हाउ इट इज टू बी अंडरस्टूड नाउ, and that becomes so important to understand it in the original Sanskrit text. However, mere chanting fills us with a huge amount of energy. Now एक चीज जो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, जब हम चैंट करते हैं जैसे लिखा है हमको वैसे ही चैंट करना है। 1 नंबर 2 विद रूल्स अप्लाइड। नंबर 2, जब हम चैंट करते हैं तो कोई लिख अगर रहा हो तो लिखने वाला उसमें त्रुटि ना करे। The person who's writing, when I chant, the person who's writing should not make a mistake. That accountability lies with me who is chanting. Okay, so I have to chant the way it is meant to be chanted. एक बार और चैंट करते हैं सब मिलके। आप लोग अनम्यूट कर लीजिए, एक बार और चैंट करते फिर आगे चलते। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच
धृतराष्ट्रोवाच
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे
कुरुक्षेत्रे
समवेतायुयुत्सवः
समवेतायुयुत्सवः
मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव
पाण्डवाश्चैव
किमकुर्वत संजय। चलिए अभी दूसरा देखते हैं। अभी ये वाला जो है ये त्रिष्टुप छंद है, ये दूसरे अध्याय का 7वां श्लोक है। और त्रिष्टुप छंद में, जैसे हमने अनुष्टुप छंद में आपको बताया था कि एक लाइन में पहले मीटर में 16 अक्षर होते हैं, इसमें 22 अक्षर होते हैं और इसका ट्यून भी थोड़ा अलग होता है। तो इसके एक चरण में 11 अक्षर होते हैं। तो इसकी जो लाइन है, पहली लाइन इसमें 11 है, दूसरी लाइन में 11 है, तीसरी में 11 है, चौथी में 11 है। केवल इसमें हम लोग जोड़ाक्षर या संयुक्त अक्षर को हम नहीं गिनते हैं। चलिए ये वाला पहले चैंट करते हैं साथ में मिलके। तैयार है सब? एक बार अनम्यूट कर लीजिए, मैं करूंगा, मेरे बाद चैंट करिए। कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभाव पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेताः
गच्छामि त्वां
धर्मसम्मूढचेताः
यच्छ्रेयस्या निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शादिमान् त्वां प्रपन्नम्
शिष्यस्ते
साधिमान्
त्वां
तो
Could
अर्जुन
we do this
भगवान को
again?
सॉरी
Could we do this again?
या श्योर व्हाई नॉट। चलिए फिर से करते हैं। मैं बोलूंगा फिर मेरे बाद आप बोलिएगा। अर्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेताः
गच्छामि
गच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यच्छ्रेयस्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
तन्मे
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शादिमान् त्वां प्रपन्नम्।
शिष्यस्ते
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
शाधीमान्
तो ये दूसरे अध्याय का 7वां श्लोक है, जहाँ पे अर्जुन ये बोल रहे हैं भगवान को कि मैं आपकी शरण में आ गया हूँ, आपका शिष्य हो गया हूँ, मैं धर्म सम्मूढ़ हो गया हूँ, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, कार्पण्य दोष, मुझे कायरता का दोष हो गया है। ऐसे में आप आपका निश्चित किया हुआ मत मुझे बताएं जो मेरे लिए कल्याणकारी हो, जो मेरे लिए श्रेयकारी हो। मैं आपका शिष्य आपकी शरण में आया हूँ, ये बोलते हैं भगवान को अर्जुन। तो अर्जुन नाउ सेज कन्फेसेस दैट मेरे से ना हो पाएगा, आप मुझे बताएं इस सिचुएशन में क्या करना है। और ऐसी चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन में हमारे पास भी ऐसा आता है, जब हमको नहीं समझ में आता कि हमको क्या करना है, तब हमको भगवान या हमको किसी की तो जरूरत पड़ती है। आप उसे मेंटोर बोल लीजिए, आप उसे गुरु बोल लीजिए, आप उसे डिवाइन बोल लीजिए, आप उसे डिविनिटी बोल लीजिए, आप उसे कुछ भी बोल लीजिए, लक बोल लीजिए, ग्रेस बोल लीजिए, अल्फा बीटा गामा कुछ भी बोल लीजिए, थीटा, मगर वी नीड हेल्प। मगर हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस कैन कन्फेस दैट आई नीड हेल्प? और अर्जुन कोई छोटे मोटे वो तो थे नहीं, इज द बेस्ट बो बिल्डर, सबसे बड़े धनुर्धारी अपने टाइम के, कोई युद्ध भी नहीं हारे, इसलिए उनका नाम, उन्होंने इतना धन एकत्र किया था, उनका नाम भगवान ने धनंजय रखा, उनका नाम धनंजय भी था। सो दैट इज व्हाट इट सेज। अभी सो दीज आर द टू काइंड ऑफ श्लोक्स जिसमें पूरी भगवत गीता पढ़ी जाती है। अनुष्टुप छंद और त्रिष्टुप छंद दोनों के ट्यून अलग होते हैं। अभी एक काम करेंगे, हम आपको एक और श्लोक बताएंगे, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि भगवत गीता में ऐसे श्लोक काफी ज्यादा होते हैं जहां पे आपको ये समझ में नहीं आता कि ये वाले इसमें पहला चरण कहाँ छूटेगा और दूसरा चरण कहाँ पे शुरू होगा, या तीसरा कहाँ छूटेगा और चौथा कहाँ शुरू होगा। ऐसे बहुत सारे श्लोक आते हैं। तो ये अगर हमको चैंटिंग पता होगा तो हमको पता होगा कि ये कहाँ पे छूटेगा। चलिए ये वाला हम लोग सब मिलके चैंट करते हैं। लेट्स एक्सपीरियंस द ब्लिस ऑफ द भगवत गीता। तैयार है? चलिए शुरू करते हैं। अच्छेद्यो यमदाह्योऽयम् एक बार और। अच्छेद्यो यमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः। तो इसमें देखिए, अगर आप देखेंगे पहला जो लाइन है, पहला मीटर जो है, उसमें ये कहाँ पे चरण छूट रहा है हमको समझ में नहीं आता। मैंने कैसे चैंट किया था? अच्छेद्यो यमदाह्यो यम, फिर मैंने किया अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च। ऐसे ही तीसरा वाला कहाँ छूटता है? नित्य सर्वगत स्थाणु। फिर मैंने कैसे किया, अचलो यम सनातन। तो ये सब जानने के लिए हमको चैंटिंग आना जरूरी है, हमको सही तरीके से पढ़ना आना जरूरी है। वो जब हमको आएगा तब हम उसके मीनिंग जो है ना, ये श्लोक अपने आप हमारे साथ साझा करते चलते हैं। द मोर वी एंगेज विद द भगवत गीता इन द ओरिजिनल संस्कृत टेक्स्ट, द ब्यूटी इज भगवत गीता हमको बताती रहती कि वो क्या, भगवान क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं, भगवान क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं, अर्जुन क्या पूछ रहे हैं और भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं। एंड बिलीव यू मी, अर्जुन वही सारे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं जो सारे सवाल हमारे होते हैं हमारी जिंदगी, और सारे आंसर वो हैं भगवान ने दिए जो हमारे सारे सवालों का आंसर भगवत गीता में। एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज द इंस्ट्रक्शन मैनुअल फॉर लाइफ। चलिए,
One question.
हाँ जी बोलिए।
The S sign which is made between the alphabets,
Yeah.
how do you pronounce that?
तो इट इज कॉल्ड एज द अवग्रह, इसको अवग्रह बोलते हैं, और इसमें विलुप्त अ होता है, इसमें विलुप्त अ होता है। तो अगर हम इसका संधि विच्छेद करेंगे तो अच्छेद्य, और उसके बाद अयम, ये अयम हो जाएगा, म हलंत हो जाएगा। फिर सॉरी,
I didn't get it. Somebody said something. I lost you in between.
not a problem. So the S that you see here
Yeah.
is actually denoting a जो होता है ना,
हाँ,
ई वाला जो अ होता है, it denotes
Right.
that, but it is विलुप्त, वो दिख नहीं रहा।
Okay.
तो जब हम इसका संधि विच्छेद करते हैं ना, जहाँ संधि विच्छेद करते हैं वहां पे अगर ओ आता है तो उसका प्रोनाउंसिएशन होता है विसर्ग। तो ये कैसे होगा, अच्छेद्य, फिर अयम, ऐसे करके होगा। सो द मोर वी गेट इनटू इट, द मोर वी विल टू एक्सप्लेन यू बेटर। because of paucity of time, I don't think we will be able to take beyond this, but I hope I am able to answer your question.
Yeah, that's good.
हाँ, so ये जितने भी आप एस देख रहे हैं, आप इसमें जान के चलिएगा, यू टेक इट फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग फॉर नाउ, दैट देयर इज अ विलुप्त अ which is not visible but it is there.
Okay.
which is not visible but it is there, and इसीलिए जहां जहां ये आता है उसके पहले वाले को हम लोग सिलेबल को हम थोड़ा खींच के बोलते हैं। अगर आपने देखा, मैं जब चैंट कर रहा था मैंने कैसे किया, अच्छेद्यो यमदा यो यम अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एवच, तो उसको जब द्यो को थोड़ा खींच के बोलते हैं तो अ उसमें से निकल के आता
Okay.
है ना। तो नित्य सर्वगत स्थाणु अचलो यम सनातन, वो अयम है।
Okay.
ओके, तो वो जब हम उसको चैंट करेंगे तो अपने आप निकल के आना चाहिए। जहां जहां पे अवग्रह, वो एस जहां दिखता है आपकी किताब में, वहां उसके पहले वाले सिलेबल को थोड़ा सा खींच के बोल। हो पाया?
Thanks.
या चलिए, अभी एक काम करते हैं, हम लोग आपके साथ 5 श्लोक साझा करेंगे आज, जो कि ये 5 श्लोक आपकी जिंदगी में हर वक्त कहीं ना कहीं काम आएंगे। वी हैव जस्ट पिक्ड अप 5 श्लोक। ये 5 श्लोक अगर आप अभी नहीं लिख सकते तो मत लिखिएगा, स्क्रीनशॉट भी मत लीजिएगा, केवल श्लोक के नंबर लिख लीजिएगा, और ऊपर जो मैंने लिखा है वो लिख लीजिएगा। जब भी आप जिस भी सिचुएशन में होंगे, ये श्लोक का नंबर लीजिएगा, खोलिएगा बुक भगवत गीता और इस श्लोक को चैंट कर लीजिएगा, यू विल फील वेरी गुड। तो दिस श्लोक इज टू बी चैंटेड बिफोर फूड, तो खाना मुंह में डालने से पहले ये श्लोक चैंट कर लेना चाहिए, एंड यू सी द इफेक्ट, एंड देन वी विल डिस्कस कभी बाद में, बट यू कैन ऑलवेज सी इट फॉर योरसेल्फ हाउ इट अफेक्ट्स योर सिस्टम एंड योर मेटाबॉलिज्म। तैयार है? चलिए साथ में चैंट करते हैं। दिस श्लोक इज टू बी चैंटेड बिफोर फूड। दिस इज द 24th श्लोक ऑफ चैप्टर 4। एक बार साथ में चैंट करते हैं। ब्रह्मार्पणम ब्रह्म हविः,
ब्रह्मार्पणं
ब्रह्म
हविः
ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतम्,
ब्रह्माग्नौ
ब्रह्मणाहुतम्
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्,
ब्रह्मैव
तेन गन्तव्यम्,
ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना।
ब्रह्म
कर्म समाधिना।
एक बार और चैंट करेंगे।
Yes, sir.
वंस मोर।
Yes.
Yes.
So this is to be had before food. This is to be chanted before, like medicine. खाने से पहले. So this will work like medicine. ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्म हविः
ब्रह्मार्पणं
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्महविः
ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं
ब्रह्माग्नौ
ब्रह्माग्नौ
ब्रह्मणाहुतं
ब्रह्मणाहुतं
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्
ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम्
ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना.
कर्म
कर्म
समाधिना.
समाधिना.
Great. We'll move to the next one. So this is to be chanted for devotion. So this shlok is to be chanted for devotion. जब भी हमको लगे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, and I want to seek help or I want to calm my mind, तब ये वाला श्लोक कर लेना चाहिए. Chant. चलिए करते हैं. अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम्
चिन्तयन्तो माम्
ये जनाः पर्युपासते
ये जनाः
पर्युपासते
तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां
नित्याभियुक्तानां
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्.
9वें अध्याय का 22वां श्लोक आप लिख के रख सकते हैं. अगर कभी कहीं ऐसे सिचुएशन में आ गए वेयर वी आर नॉट फीलिंग वेरी हाई और वी आर फीलिंग लो और स्ट्रेस्ड आउट, प्लीज चैंट दिस श्लोक. अनन्य भक्ति से जो मुझे पूछता है, भगवान बोल रहे हैं. अनन्य भक्ति से जो मुझे पूजता है, पर्युपासते मां, मुझे, जो लोग जो लोग, अर्जुन को बोल रहे हैं. तेषां नित्याभियुक्ता नाम, तो उनके पास जो चाहिए उनको वो तो मैं देता ही हूं. दैट इज व्हाट इज इट. अगर उनको जो चाहिए वो तो मैं देता ही हूं. तेषां नित्याभियुक्ता नाम योगक्षेमम वहाम्यहम्, और जो उनके पास नहीं है मैं वो भी देता हूं. So if someone invests in me and only me, then I protect what one has, but I also give what one does not have, or more than what one has. अगर आपने LIC का लोगो देखा है, LIC के लोगो में एक हाथ बना है ऐसे और उसके नीचे लिखा योगक्षेमम वहाम्यहम्. So what is LIC saying to us? LIC is saying that invest in me, I'll give you more than what you desire. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Invest in me, Bhagwan says, and I will give you, I'll protect what you have, and don't worry, I'll give you more than what you have, or even what you don't have, I'll provide for that. So this shlok is to be chanted for devotion. So don't worry, in any situation, kabhi kuch bhi ho jaye, just chant this shlok and just see how it affects you mentally. And if you are good mentally, you will be good physically also. This shlok is to be chanted to take charge. This is the 5th shlok of chapter 6. Chapter 6 is Atma Sanyam Yog, the yoga of meditation. चलिए साथ में चैंट करते हैं.
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम्
आत्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. तो भगवान क्या कह रहे हैं? उत हरेत इज टू एलिवेट. उत हरेत, उसको हर लो जो ऊपर है. उत हरेत. आत्मानम, सेल्फ बाय द सेल्फ. सो हु इज गोइंग टू एलिवेट योर सेल्फ? सेल्फ बाय द सेल्फ. जो दुनिया में कोई नहीं आने वाला. अगर मुझे अपने आप को ऊपर उठाना है, इट हैज टू बी डन ओनली बाय मी. ठीक है. अंग्रेजी में क्या होता है ना, गॉड हेल्प दोज हु हेल्प देमसेल्व्स, वो यहां से उत हरेत आत्मानम नात्मानम अवसादेत, and only I will decide whether I degrade myself. So it is I who will decide whether I elevate myself or I who will decide who will degrade myself. Why? Because, and the best part of Bhagavad Gita is Bhagwan says, and he only clarifies. He says, Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu, because I am, my Bandhu is friend. So I am my best friend. Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmana, and I am my worst enemy. So whether I want to elevate myself or I want to degrade myself is only on me. Only I can decide. No one else can decide what do I do with my life. No one else can. And we cannot blame it because I am my best friend and I am my worst enemy. So अगर कहीं पे फंस जाए, अगर हमको लगे कि ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा जस्ट, या फिर ये इसके कारण नहीं हो रहा, ओहो ये परिस्थिति ऐसी है, ओहो the situation is not conducive, the people that I'm working with are not good, my boss is not like this, my wife is not, he is not like that, my friends, they don't trust me. Don't ask yourself a question, do you trust yourself? That is what Bhagwan is saying. उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम, एक बार और चैंट करें, चलिए चैंट करते हैं.
Yes.
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम,
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम्
आत्मानमवसादयेत्,
नात्मानमवसादयेत्
आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः,
आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः
आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः.
आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः.
So I am my best friend and I am my worst enemy and I have to decide what I am for myself. As simple as that. Practice what you preach. This is one of my favorite shlokas. This is the 21st श्लोक of chapter 3. पहले हम लोग साथ में चैंट करते हैं. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः
यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः
तदेवेतरो जनः.
देवेतरो जनः
यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते
प्रयत्नमाणं कुरुते
लोकस्तदनुवर्तते.
लोकस्तदनुवर्तते.
So it says yat acharati श्रेष्ठः. आचरण, आचरति, जैसे जैसे श्रेष्ठ पुरुष का आचरण होगा या जैसे जैसे श्रेष्ठ पुरुष आचरण करता है, यत आचरति श्रेष्ठः तत् तत् देवेतरो जना, देव इतरो जना, वैसे वैसे लोग उसको फॉलो करते हैं. सयत प्रमाणं कुरुते, जैसे जैसे वो प्रमाण देता है लोग उसका अनुसरण करते हैं. लोकस्तदनुवर्तते, लोग वैसे ही बरतते हैं. So if you are in a leadership position, so all of us are. So I have to be very, very, very of my actions because someone is watching and someone will emulate also. So मैं जो करता हूँ, I should be very, very wary of what I am doing. How am I conducting myself? अगर आप देखेंगे किसी भी घर में ना, अगर हम जाते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं, तो हम लोग spontaneously बोलते हैं कि this kid has taken to his mother or to his father or to her mother or to her father. Why? Because that kid is emulating one as an idol. So if we have to become idol for the team that we are working with or for the people that we are working with, we have to conduct ourselves in the highest possible manner because they will only follow that. जोक में हम कई बार बोलते हैं, अगर बहुत हायरार्किकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं, द आर्मी, तो अगर आप किसी आर्मी कैंटोनमेंट में जाते हैं और अगर वहां पे कमांडिंग ऑफिसर चेंज होता है, तो कमांडिंग ऑफिसर की वाइफ को कुत्ते पसंद नहीं थे तो पूरे स्टेशन में कुत्ते नहीं होते. अगली बार जो कमांडिंग ऑफिसर है उसकी वाइफ को कुत्ते बहुत पसंद है तो पूरे हर घर में कुत्ते आ जाते. सो हाउ यू कंडक्ट योरसेल्फ. यत यत आचरति श्रेष्ठः तत् तत्तदेवेतरो जनः सयत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनु वर्तते. And the last one that I want to leave you with is the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is said to be the nectar of the Ved, the Upanishad, the Brahma Vidya and the Yoga Shastra is the nectar of all that. तो उतना पढ़ने का तो टाइम हमारे पास नहीं होगा, लेकिन पूरी जिंदगी में 700 श्लोक भगवत गीता के तो पढ़ ही सकते हैं. अभी ये जो श्लोक है, it is the nectar of the Bhagavad Gita. So all the Bhagavad Gita is there in this one shlok, and that is why it is called as the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. चलिए साथ में पहले चैंट करते हैं. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
This is the Charam Shlok of the Bhagavad Gita. It says सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य. भगवान अर्जुन को कह रहे हैं सारे धर्मों को, leave all obligatory duties, परित्यज्य, and do only what is to be done, what is the most important. सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज. Take refuge only in me. माम एकम, only in me. शरणम व्रज, take शरण ले लो केवल मुझ में, सब कुछ छोड़ के. Do only what is the most important. Time management हम बोलते हैं ना, start with A's and not with the C's. Okay. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज. अहम त्वा, मैं तेरे को, सर्व पापे, सारे पापों से मोक्ष, मुक्ति दिला दूंगा. I will relieve you of all sins. मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः, don't grieve. So whatever we do it as a offering to the God, or as the offering to the higher, as the offering to the Almighty, as the offering to the force which is beyond you, beyond us, as an offering to nature, as an offering to someone who is taking care of us at all the time. If we have that kind of devotion, we are never going to be facing any of those stress. एक बार और, बिकॉज ये चरम श्लोक है, एक बार और चैंट करते हैं बिफोर आई हैंड इट ओवर टू आशीष जी. एक बार और चैंट करना चाहेंगे सब क्विकली?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
ओके, डन. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य
मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः
अहं
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Don't grieve, leave everything to the Almighty while dedicating everything that you do to him or her, whatever you want to call. Over to you आशीष जी. थैंक यू सो मच. आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. रात को वर्किंग डे में इतना लेट हमारे साथ आप जुड़े, धन्यवाद आपका और भगवान श्री कृष्ण का. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you Prasun ji for sharing such a wonderful.
बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you everybody for participating so actively. And now I would like to ask you a question. Some of you have been joined us when I asked this question to you earlier. What is your energy level? So now again take a note of your energy level. I don't need to know what is the figure now. All I need to know is what is the difference in the energy levels. Thank you, Kapish. So it was 5 earlier, now it is now 8 now. Just tell us the difference, the 3. Or if it is 3 earlier and 8 now, tell us what is the difference, which is 5. So please share with us how, and even if you were not there when we did this exercise earlier, maybe you can just take a note of how you were feeling when you came in for the session and how you're feeling now. Thank you, Ashna. What is the difference in your energy levels? Please type that number in the chat. Thank you, Kapish. Anybody can quantify what was the energy level they were feeling when they came in and what is the energy level they're feeling now? Please share that difference in the score of energy levels. Thank you, Kulmohan. The energy level has gone up by 6. Josna says at the fullest always, so that's a 10. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share their difference? So the energy level of the increment of 6 is not just a number 6, it is 60%, because we have a base of 10. Anshu says energy level has gone up from 4 to 8, so that's an increment of 4, which is 40% increase in energy level. So imagine we did the chanting for about 15 to 20 minutes, and in 15
Sorry,
to
Ashish.
sorry.
Ashish, 4 to 8 is 100%.
No, I'm saying on the score, on the range of 10,
Okay.
the increment of 4 is 40%. So the increase of 40, 50%, 60% is in 20 minutes of chanting. So, how many of you would like to take your life to the next level by continuing the practice of chanting? If you would like to take your life to the next level, please type NL in that chat box. Thank you, Fahad, for sharing that. If you would like to take your life, thank you, Kapish. Thank you. Those of you who would like to continue chanting and take your life, thank you, Rakesh ji, to the next level, please type NL. If 20 minutes of chanting can increase your energy level by 40, 50%, thank you, Fahad. So, friends, we have put together a program for you which will help you move to a high energy level in 2024. And when we are operating from a high energy level, synchronicities happen, serendipity happens, and what we are able to achieve becomes effortless. Most of the times we are struggling a lot, but when we are operating from a high energy level, things become easier for us. Albert Einstein says insanity is doing same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So as we come to the end of 2023 and move to 24, take charge of what we have been doing, make the changes that we need to make, do something different, so we move to the high energy level. And we have put together this program which requires some investment of time and some investment of money to take your life to the next energy level, which is the Gita chanting is enchanting program for 2024. So this program will run through all the Sundays of 2024, starting from 7th of January, and it will be for an hour from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. And over 50 odd Sundays, we will take about 14 to 15 shlok on each Sunday for an hour and chant and practice so that by the end of the year of 2024, we come up, we learn it very, very well and, we benefit from the high energy levels. And, when we are operating out of a high energy level, does it only benefit us or does it benefit others around us also? So please type whether it benefits us only or it benefits everybody around us. You can unmute and speak also. Thank you, Kapish. Yeah, it benefits everybody. Thank you for sharing that, Lakshmi. It improves the vibrations, not only for ourselves, but of the family, of our workplace. So the benefit accrues to everybody. And everybody benefits. There is more harmony in the family. And the program that we have put together is a very reasonable program. It is a nominal fees of 4,999 for 1 year program, which is like 100 rupees for a session, which is no cost actually. It is just a kind of commitment fees to ensure that you remain committed to the program. And in case you would like to opt for a quarterly program, you could enroll by paying 1499 rupees. Or if you would like to start with a monthly plan, start 2024 on a high note by joining the Gita chanting program, you could even start by paying 599 rupees. You could pay by Paytm or Google Pay to my number, which is linked to my corporate account 9899977266. And once you have remitted the fees, please share a screenshot so that we can welcome you to the program. All these sessions will be recorded live on Zoom like this one. So in case you miss attending any session, you don't have to worry about missing that class. The Zoom recording will be shared and you can always practice using the Zoom recording. And this is the first time we are doing this chanting program, year-long chanting program. The next program will possibly be in 2025, which we can't talk about now. So don't wait for 2025 to take your life to the next level. Take action now and enroll for this workshop. Sometimes there are no next times, and all the programs of mindful living come with a money back guarantee. So in case you join for the program and after 1 or 2 classes, you find that this is not something that's working for you, let us know and we will refund your fees, no questions asked. We are so sure of the quality of programs that we put together. We are never worried about offering this money back guarantee. So for the benefit of everybody, sharing the fee structure once again, the annual plan is 4,999. The quarterly plan is for 1,499 and the monthly plan for 599 only, which is like 20 rupees a day. What is 20 rupees a day? For 20 rupees a day, even a Coke 200 ml bottle will cost you 20 bucks, which we don't even, we just consume. And it does not do any benefit, it only harms us. But when you spend 20 rupees a day in learning Gita chanting, the benefits that it will provide you will be for lifetime, and it will be for everybody in your family and at your workplace. The book that we will be using is this one, and I'll request Prasunji to just talk a bit about the book that we'll be using as reference for this program.
ये भगवत गीता का, थैंक यू आशीष जी, धन्यवाद। ये भगवत गीता का गीता प्रेस गोरखपुर का 17 नंबर की किताब है, जो हमारे पास घर में होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि दो कारण है। एक तो भगवत गीता गीता प्रेस का जितनी भी संकलन है, जितनी भी प्रतिलिपि हैं, उसमें एक भी त्रुटि नहीं है। काफी सारे प्रकाशन हमने देखे हैं जिनमें त्रुटियां होती हैं, इसमें एक भी त्रुटि नहीं है। तो भगवान की वाणी जब हम पढ़ेंगे तो हमको सही तरीके से पढ़ना, ये हमको वी हैव टू एंश्योर कि हम सही तरीके से पढ़ें। तो ये हम रेकमेंड करते हैं और इसमें हर वर्ड का मीनिंग दिया हुआ है। तो जब हम पढ़ते हैं तो हमको बहुत अच्छी तरह से कनेक्ट कर पाते हैं पूरे श्लोक के साथ। धन्यवाद आशीष जी, ओवर टू यू।
Thank you, Prasunji. This book is available on Flipkart, so you can go to Flipkart and order this, and this will be used as the reference book. Once again, you could pay $599 or $1499 or $499 and enroll for the program. In case you would like to use the credit card option, you could visit our website, mindfulliving.co.in, and on the right-hand side, you will find this link to pay now, and you can swipe your card and pay now. And some of you are members of Mindful Living and some of you may be new to the community. For those who are new, I would like to share that we invite world-class speakers every weekend to speak on different topics which are related to making an impact on the society, doing something which is truly wonderful, inspirational. So people who have been featured in HBR case studies, who are LinkedIn voices, people who have done great achievements, business leaders, social leaders, they're all invited to come and share their inspiring journeys with the community members. There is a limited number of participants that we take in each program, and like this, in this program, the number of participants that we'll be taking is limited to 20 because as you would have possibly realized today, there is some amount of correction that needs to be done when we are practicing it. So if the number is small, that correction can be done. Prasunji and Sandhyaji are masters in that. They are regularly invited by institutions to judge Gita chanting competitions. So they are very well positioned to help us learn this. And the number of people who will be enrolled for this batch will be only 20. We had a similar session last weekend also, and a lot of people are joining us. So please hurry up and join the class early. You can reserve your seat by paying 599 rupees, and you can always upgrade later to a quarterly or annual option. So sharing the plan details once again, and these are the details. You can take a screenshot of this, and in case you would like to make a bank transfer, here are the bank account details. You can take a screenshot. We'll also be sharing these details over an email with you tomorrow, so you can use them. So now we will stop the session and open it up for question and answers. Anybody who would like to have any questions, we'll be happy to take.
तो मैं एक बात मैं बोलना चाह रहा था, मैं आपको बता दूं जितने लोग भी अभी रह गए हैं कि ये जो भगवत गीता गीता प्रेस की 17 नंबर जो है, ये केवल 55 से 70 रुपए के आते हैं, 55 to 70 rupees, that's it. Okay, and depending on the stock that is there in the bookstore, so it is only 55 to 70 rupees, that's it, and it's an investment for lifetime. 55.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Prasunji. We have got very good feedback from the people in their chat. Thank you, everybody, for taking out time. We urge you to invest this time and money in improving your own future and the future of your family members and your colleagues at workplace, and take your life to the next level in 2024. For those of you who attended the session live, and for those of you who are watching the recording, thank you very, very much. Have a wonderful week ahead. Have a wonderful rest of December and a fantastic 2024. God bless everybody. Thank you, Prasunji. Thank you.
Before we close, हम लोग जैसे शुरू किया था, हमने prayers किया था, close करेंगे तो हम closing prayers करेंगे, and then we can close. जिनको आती है prayers हमारे साथ करिएगा, जिनको नहीं आती है वो मत करिएगा. And Sandhya ji, if you can keep your thing on mute. Thanks. Or what I'll do is, Sandhya, can you take the closing prayers, please?
Yeah, and before that, I'll just like to thank Rakesh ji for confirming that he'll be joining the chanting session. So thank you, Rakesh ji, and welcome to the program. Rakesh ji himself has been studying Gita, and he's an author. He's written a book on Bhagavad Gita. So we really welcome you to the chanting program, Rakesh ji.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम धन्यवाद
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Shubhratri.
Shubhratri.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.